All that money, all these things that y'all just wasteful spending for no reason, it's a shame. Y'all should stop because it's not y'all money. And y'all still making a mockery of this village. I go get the money and then y'all don't want to spend the money. What kind of mess is that? I'm the only mayor that's bringing in grant money, right? But yet you guys want to sit here and dictate what we do. And I said, give it to the people. But y'all said, give it to y'all friends. Come on, make it make sense. Y'all gotta say time out for the nonsense and say, you know what? I'm gonna do something right for a change. I went in the seat 2 weeks before y'all backstabbed me. So all I'm saying now is, okay, it's over with. Y'all did all y'all dirt. Now let's go, let's build. And tell the truth to the people. Stop lying to them. Stop making fake, I call it fake news. Stop calling fake news out for every little thing. Stop. I ain't never seen nobody that want their town to be in the negative all the time. Never in my life. But it's cool, I'm built for this. Because at the end of the day, this too shall pass. We have 1 year, and y'all seats are back up. And know that I'm gonna campaign hard. Y'all know that because I make sure y'all won y'all seats. So y'all know what I'm gonna do.
Slight correction. We know what you are doing. And we're about to expose the dirty details of exactly how she is executing her plan with her longest running lie to date. Well, folks, we're back again with another crazy edition of the Dolton Chronicles. Things are starting to get crazy in the village with the election coming up. And Tiffany is talking a big game, even though she just took the big fat L over in Thornton Township when Napoleon Harris pulled the okey-doke move and knocked her right off of that primary ballot. But don't get me wrong. She might be down, but she's certainly not out. You see, she's got a little trick up her sleeve that might help her win that mayor seat again. That is, if the feds don't come get her first. So sit on down and get your popcorn ready because we're about to expose the big fat lie she's been telling to pull this off. What is up, gang? This is Carlton Flowers with the Go Political Channel, and welcome back to the Dolton Chronicles. I've got a great one for you today, so buckle up, get your popcorn ready, eliminate all distractions, hit that like button, and tick the notification bell so you don't miss any of the follow-up videos that are going to come after this one, where we're going to be exposing the super mayor for this big lie that she has been pushing. And yes, you heard it right in the intro. There is a chance that Tiffany Henyard could actually get reelected as mayor of Dolton. In the upcoming spring 2025 election. It's not out of the realm of possibility. So you might be scratching your head and thinking, well, how is this even possible? Well, it's because of this heinous lie that Tiffany Henyard allegedly has been telling for the past few years, that a certain group of residents are dumb enough to believe. And that's why the Dolton trustees have to take this very seriously and help educate y'all. I have to do that. They have to educate you residents who have fallen for this hook, line, and sinker. So there's work to be done. This is nothing that they don't already know about, but they need to take care of it because the people have been fooled. Therein lies the problem. So this is my early Christmas present to you. I'm going to expose the lie straight out of the Dolton board meeting archives. As I always say, there's gold in them thar hills. There's gold in the Dolton board meeting archives. Everything we need to know is right there on YouTube, public record for everyone to see. And so we are going to put all the pieces together, and then you can take it and run with it and put an end to this little scam that could garner her a significant amount of votes. So in this video presentation, we're going to break this down into 4 big parts. First, we're going to cover the big lie. And that lie is the trustees don't want to pay the bills. How many times have we heard that? That is the big lie. Then we're going to move on to the big hustle. All right. Now, the lie is just the deflection to cover up the hustle, the dirty dealings that are going on in the background. Next, we'll cover the big benefit to Mayor Tiffany Henyard. So there is a group of people that the super mayor targets and takes advantage of, and this is how she will benefit in the election. And then last but certainly not least, we're going to talk about the big bust. In other words, this is exactly what the trustees need to do to stop this plan dead in its tracks, because thus far it is working to an extent. So let's get the party started, get the ball rolling. As we look back, we're going to dig back into the video archives to the board meeting that took place in September of 2023, where we see the big lie in action. And some of you will recognize and remember this tactic, this big lie. So let's cut to the clip.
All right, next we have corporate bills of Stan Brown.
Thank you, Mayor.
Welcome.
Electronic payment approval for July the 31st, 2023. Corporate payments, $154,489.42. Water fund, $368,898.74. Federal forfeiture, $11. Sewer funds, $1,706.36. American Rescue Plan, $3,880.44. Melanie Fitness Center, $334.81 for a total corporate payment of $529,520.77.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motion and second. Any discussion? Please
May I
call
be
the roll.
recognized?
Go ahead.
I have some questions in reference to the corporate bills. The electronic corporate bills, because normally some of these vendors that's on our electronic payment, which have been paid with credit cards, would be on our AP warrant list. Is there a reason why some of them are preference to go electronically versus the AP warrant list?
I would know which ones are you speaking of.
DJ Ezra Israel, he had a credit card payment for $2,900 and a credit card payment for $1,300. But normally he's on the AP warrant list. And then even if you look at his invoice say payment methods, check, money order, or cashier. So is it a reason why he's being paid with a credit card versus?
It could have been he needed the money to buy whatever he needed to purchase at the time, whether it was lease something. Could have been a number of reasons why people ask for payment via electronic.
So, okay.
Credit card.
All right. And then my other question is, with all these lease payments, why are the lease payments electronic payments versus AP warrant list payments?
Well, lease payments have always been electronic as it relates to making sure they have their payment. It's on automatic, so that way we never miss the payment. So if it's a lease or something that the village has, we always make sure we pay our bill.
All right. So since you're answering the question about one of these leases, and I'm doing this just in reference to I've been questioning it. We had a meeting, myself and Trustee Stan Brown with Tangenique. I asked for a copy of the leases because September 2021, we approved for Enterprise for the police cars to get. Then we start getting all these other vehicles, and it was just, I want to say, erroneous to me, the fact that we have purchased vehicles of $81,000 and the interest on it $29,000. Total price is $110,000 for just one of these vehicles. that we have 4 or 5 of these vehicles at this amount. And then when it gets to the bottom, it says it's signed off by you and Tanjanique.
For a lease?
For
I'm
a
okay
lease.
with leasing any vehicle here in the village of Dolton. We have increased public works. We have increased the fire department, the police department. So everyone needs vehicle. Right now, you guys had them driving around with no air, no heat. Cars did not work. Cars did not start. Some of them use their personal vehicles. So I am fine with a lease.
I'm
So
not
any other questions?
I'm not disputing that. I have a question.
Right, you just asked and then you said because I signed off on it. I am okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Even with the interest?
I'm okay with the
Okay.
lease that we have because
All
it was
right.
needed.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Any more questions? All right. Please call the roll.
All right, so that was just the August corporate bills, but I wanted to show you that clip so you can see exactly what she's doing, okay? And the difference between running a warrant list and getting approval to buy something and just sneaking it on the credit card. That's the difference. That's why they call it an electronic payment. It was paid on a credit card, okay, because she holds that credit card, has authorization to use it, and doesn't need to get permission for all this extra stuff. So that's when she started buying all of those extra vehicles. And how'd you like the little excuse she provided to cover up the fact that they wasted $29,000 in interest alone for an unauthorized purchase? Okay, so it's going to build up a little bit more, and now Stan Brown, the infamous Stan Brown, is going to read off the September corporate payments. And then we're going to hear the big lie. This is where she's going to use the Darvo process. And if you don't know what that is, dig back into my video archives and watch the Darvo video because she's about to employ that trick. All right, here we go. Let's jump back into the clip.
The warrant registered for September the 5th, 2023. Corporate payments, $2,030,236.84. Gross payroll for 8/11/23, $452,668.86. Gross payroll, August 25th, 2023, $530,078.58. Melanie Fitness Center, $2,057.76. Total corporate payments, $3,015,042.04.
All right. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been a motion and a second. Any discussion?
If I can be recognized.
Go ahead.
Okay. This warrant list, I'm not in favor of all items on there. I do, if the board sees fit, would like to ask for an amendment on there. I think we have some previous approved items from previous warrant lists that still have not been taken care of. And I don't want us to continue going further in the hole. I would hope that we can start to address some of the previous bills that have been broken into multiple checks that we were informed that we have the money, but the people are still not getting paid. There are also other, in addition to that, we do also have outstanding money owed to Public Works for retro payments for 4 years of payment. So I think we'll want to make sure that we get those paid first. So I do have some amendments that I would like to propose to the board should this vote be unsuccessful. Thank you.
All right. It's been motion and second. Please call the roll.
I would like to make a suggestion, Mayor.
Okay. 1 second. They're going to vote on this because he basically said he have amendments. So more than likely, y'all going to make a amended motion. So if you want, y'all don't want to pay all the bills. You can vote on it and then make your motion thereafter.
Okay.
Clerk Keegan, please call the roll.
Trustee Darwood. No. Trustee Stan Brown.
Let me be clear on this here. We're voting to amend this.
No, this is vote.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the motion to approve the AP warrant list as
Oh,
submitted.
it's read. Okay.
And so if you want the list as submitted, you'd vote yes.
Okay.
It would need, in order to get to an amended motion, this motion would need to fail.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Trustee Tammy Brown.
No.
Trustee House.
No.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
No.
Motion failed.
All right. Is there a motion to pay the corporate bills?
Yes, if I can be recognized.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to Motion to pay the corporate bills with the following amendments or items removed. First, discount fence, items $23,096 on page 6. Existing concrete, $14,123.03, page 7. 5-star, $57,625, page 7. K5 construction, $258,290.06 on page 9. John's Pro Tree Service, $155,000, page 9. K&M Ventures, $100,150 on page 10. Lopez Lawn Maintenance, $10,000 on page 11. Raoul and Sons, $144,450, page 15. Prestige Maintenance, $14,425, page 15. S&S Upscale Lawn, $16,740, page 16. Starter Heating and Cooling, $11,500, page 16. Thank Me Later, $520, page 16. And Welsh Ready Mix, $21,878.86 on page 17. My motion is to pay the bills with the following exclusions.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
It's been motion and second. Any discussion? So I'm gonna start like this.
So there you have it. You heard it. She tells the big lie. The trustees don't want to pay the bills. I cannot stand it whenever she says the word bills. It's B-I-L-L-S, you idiot. Bills. Okay. I know what you're thinking. We've heard the mayor say this time and time again, and that's not news. But here's the thing about it, all right? It's significant because there's a certain group of people who live in Dolton who actually believe her when she says that. And that is a problem. It doesn't matter how ridiculous the lie is. What matters is the fact that people are dumb enough to believe it to be true. And then it's left out there uncorrected. That's a big problem. I'm going to get into that a little bit later. All right. So we just saw a total of $827,789 worth. I almost fumbled like Dodo Bird Stan Brown. Worth of expenditures that did not have prior approval on the AP warrant list, which were read out by Trustee Jason House for the month of September alone. How can they get away with this month after month? Well, you deflect and you lie. And the mayor uses the Darvo method to reverse the situation and make the trustees the villain while she continues to do business with corrupt vendors. I mean, hey, you heard the trustee read off the name of Raoul and Sons. Yep, the same construction company that the Attorney General of the state of Illinois went after for evading payroll taxes, among many other things, paying millions of dollars in cash to workers so they would not have to pay taxes. Yeah, they are dirty. You know what? I would cautiously say that all of them, every single one of those vendors that are taking those no-bid contracts, they're crooks. They have to be. I mean, we've already uncovered the monumental no-bid contract scam in the tree trimming deal. If you didn't see that video, you need to go back and watch that so you can be up to speed. So it's no big surprise that all of these folks that don't go through the bidding process, they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. This is a system of kickbacks and pay for play. All right, well, let's move on to the hustle and watch the mayor live using the Darvo process in action as she shifts the blame for these unapproved expenditures and blasts the trustees on this epic rant. Cut to the clip.
I'm gonna start like this. It's a shame that you guys come to these board meetings and sit here and take people out of the warrant list to be paid. The things that you just named, Trustee House, is services to the residents of Dolton. Speaking of all the vacant property that get cut by those vendors as we speak now. When people call in and ask us to cut down trees, to trim blocks, to maintenance lawns, to get rid of the squatters and the vacants that's bushes and trees all around houses, it's a shame that you will sit here and directly pick out certain vendors. Because why?
Be recognized?
Yeah, you're going to be recognized, but I just want to know why. So just keep these in mind. Why? Why would you do such a thing like that? Every board meeting, we got to come here and fight over paying vendors that did the work. We owe them the money. You do know it's a prompt act, right? You got to pay vendors. You have to pay them when they do the work. You guys got to stop doing this. And I don't understand how any of you other trustees would sit here on mute and not even pay anybody, Trustee Norwood, Trustee Tammy Brown, and Trustee Kiana Belcher. It's a shame that all y'all will follow that and keep voting down people pay. We have been through this long enough. And for the record, Trustee House, you need to sign the checks. It's checks that you have not signed because you want to sit here and pick out people that you do not want to pay because of your own personal reason. That's unacceptable. You guys supposed to legislate. I govern the town. When y'all get that in your head of who does what, you guys will move differently here in the village. So now when people call tomorrow and ask for trees to be cut down, when they ask for lawn care service, when they ask for things such as services, what are we to tell them because the board don't want to pay vendors? And it's the same issue we have with the roof and window program. You guys don't want to pay the vendors so that residents can get their roof fixed, their windows done. It's a shame. So what's the point of making plans and you guys keep stopping progress? Residents need to wake up and pay attention because it's time to get rid of people like you that sit on these boards that's basically a bench warmer and not doing the work. Y'all don't do nothing the entire season, but then you come in here and want to dictate who gets paid, when they get paid, how they get paid. It's not up to you. You're not the finance department. How many times I got to keep telling y'all that? Y'all do not govern the town. You make laws. Go do what y'all supposed to do, which is make laws, make ordinances. Y'all not doing that. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, y'all do it when it affects Tiffany Henyard, right? But you don't do what's right for the people. Go do something like that, and y'all not doing it. Y'all go and y'all just sit here and y'all come to every single board meeting and choose not to pay people. That's not right, guys. They have a whole family to feed too, just like y'all. But y'all think it's okay. That's not okay. So vendors, if you're watching this and you see what's going on in the village of Dolton, y'all should see these trustees and make sure you check them when you see them on the street about your money. Because at the end of the day, y'all got houses to feed. Y'all got families to feed. And it's a shame that they got to come to every board meeting when they be obsolete for the entire season. Y'all don't do nothing. But then you come here because y'all get to vote on people money on paying them. But then y'all ask questions about, well, can we do this, Tiffany? Like, what do you mean? I don't understand.
Yeah, right. She understands exactly what's going on. Don't believe that for a minute. All right, so you saw all of that. And I had all of the explanations in there for those of you that don't really know exactly what's going on. And I wanted to break down bit by bit and just expose the strategy behind the statements that you are hearing. So on to the next part. You might ask, well, what's the benefit in pushing this lie besides, of course, the alleged kickbacks that are probably going on? I have to say allegedly, even though we know that some of the vendors have been caught participating in no-bid contracts and receiving kickbacks. You can Google it yourself, look it up. It's in the news. The stories are there. I already mentioned one that the Illinois Attorney General has busted down. Well, besides the money, the big benefit is votes. That's right. Now, I told you that there was a certain group of people that aren't smart enough to realize that the lie that the trustees don't want to pay to abuse, that this group believes it. And the reason why I know it is you can hear them state during interviews that they're voting for Tiffany Henyard in the re-election because the trustees don't want to pay the bills. Now, who is this group of people? Who are these folks? It's the senior citizens. Yay! That's right. The folks who are going to Big Bingo. The ones that are receiving the benefit of big screen TVs and strawberry cake at Big Bingo Night. Yay! So what better way to get people to vote for you than paying them off with strawberry cake and big screen TVs, and also giving you a new roof and new windows with money that was not approved by the board. All right, so the scam is we go ahead and do all of these nice things for people, and then when it comes up in the board meeting and the trustees say, hey, these warrants were never approved. Why are you paying these people or paying for these items with a credit card? Well, it's because the board did not approve it, even though she claims that the trustees don't have the ability to handle finances. We don't even need to get into that. All right, so the last part of this is the big bust. This is what needs to be done to counteract, to equalize the effect of this lie that has been told that the trustees don't want to pay the bills that the senior citizens believe. Now, there's a significant number of senior citizens that come to Big Bingo Night that follow Mayor Tiffany Henyard, that believe in her, that publicly state that they want to vote for her in a re-election bid. We won't go into the reasons of why they believe the lie. I'll just say that as we age, our cognitive ability goes down. So this turns the group of people, the senior citizens, into a target for a politician who might be corrupt. I'm not saying that anybody is corrupt, but they are a target. If you got a corrupt, crooked politician out there, senior citizens is definitely going to be in the crosshairs. Those are the people that they go after to get support, to get themselves voted into office. So here's what the trustees need to do. I know that most people understand that the no bid contracts are going on. We all know that most people know that it's not true that the trustees don't want to pay the bills. They don't want to pay for things that weren't approved and get further into debt. We don't need to even talk about how deep of debt the village of Dolton is in. But here's the thing. If you've got people backing her up, and you saw them, she was bringing them in by the busload, using the Thornton Township buses to come to that caucus meeting so she could try to get herself on the Democratic ticket for the election for supervisor, and that failed miserably. You saw all those people that were there that were being bussed in. So it's a significant number. Is it enough to get her reelected? I don't know. Is it possible that she could get reelected? Yes, it is, because let's face it, the voter turnout in Dolton is very low. It might be higher now because of all of the mess that's going on and all of the corruption that has been exposed. But here's what the trustees need to do. They need to go door to door or retirement home to retirement home, and they need to speak to the elderly residents in a way that they can understand it. You guys, you're going to have to boil this down to plain and simple. You're going to have to show the evidence. You're going to have to print some reading material that a third grader can read. It has to be basic, because if it's not basic, they're not going to understand it, because they're too busy eating that strawberry cake and throwing the dice at the bingo hall. Yeah! So that's what has to be done, person by person. And I tell you what, it's worth the work, because how big of a chance do you want to take on seeing Tiffany Henyard get reelected in the village of Dolton? Do you want to take a chance? If it's even the most remote, slimmest possibility, do you want to take a chance on seeing that happen? I don't think you do. Now, in the next edition of the Dolton Chronicles, I'm going to expose another big lie. I won't tell you what it is, but it was mentioned in this video. You're going to remember when I bring it up and show you. It's shocking how they can twist things and take certain information and twist it around to their advantage. So you're not going to want to miss this because it happened in this same meeting. I didn't want to play the rest of that epic rant because she goes on for another 10 or 15 minutes. And who can stomach that? I can't listen to her for that length of time. But after her rant is over, there's another individual who brings up a point and twists a certain, I won't tell you what it is. I'll just say that it's a fact. All right. You won't believe it when they bring this up. And it's just another tactic to justify spending up the money without getting prior approval. So stay tuned for that. It's coming your way. And I want to thank you all for joining me on this video. And again, you need to like. If you have not hit the like button yet, please pound that like button, tick the notification bell, and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, because it's going to be shocking. It's coming your way, and I'm going to be updating you each and every step of the way until that election comes in March. Well, that's all I've got for this one. This is Carlton Flowers, and I am out.